Fears here on WHTL. It is 11 o'clock on a Wednesday in the heartland. This is 102.3 WHTL in Whitehall, Wisconsin. Middays with Mark. Time now for Open House with Hanson Real Estate Group.
It's time for the open house on WHTL.
What are you, some kind of real estate agent?
You're joking, right? I don't joke about real estate.
With the Hanson Real Estate Group.
I never understood why people are so afraid to eat at an open house.
I know. The open house starts right now.
And it does. It must be Wednesday, and it is Happy Hump Day, and it is time for Open House. And I'm being joined in the studio by Josh Baecker with Hanson Realty Group. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
Good to see you, and Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen you yet this year. This is the first time.
First time of many.
And it's a little warmer today than it was yesterday. It's been cold the last couple of days.
It has been. I had 20 below the other morning.
Yeah, I had, I think, 18 below when I got here to the studio yesterday morning. So this is nice. I mean, we can live with this right now. Now, for people who aren't familiar with you, or maybe you're tuning in for the first time for Open House, tell us about Josh Baecker. How long have you been with Hanson Real Estate Group, and how did you get involved in real estate in the first place?
Well, I started in 2013 with Northern Investment Company. Mike and Richard are friends of the family, and I just thought it would be a good idea to start. And I think my dad kind of put the bug in my ear, and it just kind of grew, and I got my license and started doing it part-time. I was working at Dairyland Labs full-time and then doing realty work part-time. And 2021, I believe, I quit the lab and went full-time doing real estate. So I've just kind of grown throughout the years, helping with auctions as well, and just kind of filling time.
So when you were a kid, you didn't walk around the neighborhood pretending to be a real estate agent?
I did not. So.
Okay. I was just wondering. I thought maybe you did. I don't know.
No, I went to UWRF for crop science. I was going to do farming-related stuff, agronomy, and this opportunity just kind of presented itself, and tried it out and just kind of kept going with it. So
now, for a lot of people who aren't familiar, of course, Northern Investment and Hanson Real Estate Group merged.
Yep.
And that's been, about 2 years ago now already?
Yeah, I think so. Two full years now.
About 2 years. And, of course, you were part of that merger, and that went a lot better, I think, than most people ever expected it would.
Yeah, it went really well, I think. I mean, it was seamless to me. I mean, it was the same people, and we just eventually moved offices out to Club 93 there. And, I mean, it's pretty much the same faces, just a different emblem.
You know, the one thing that amazes me about Hanson Real Estate Group, one of the things that amazes me, other than the fact that you all are just so good at what you do, but your marketing department is incredible. And you got to give a big shout out to those people. They have to make your job a lot easier.
Oh, they do. They take whatever we have and they just run with it. I think our marketing team is second to none. So they do, from all the video highlight stuff, it's just, they do Google, Facebook ads, down to newspaper ads. You know, we pretty much cover it all. So, which are all important. The newspaper is still good to stay in. I know now, today's age, everybody wants, on the computer and social media advertising, which is important as well. But we cover everything. So,
people still look at the paper.
They do.
They do. Now, you want to talk about roofs today, because there has been some changes in regard to insurance and how it affects replacing roofs.
Yeah, it's people are kind of used to the full replacement of roofs. If you get hail damage, you get an estimate, subtract your deductible, and then that's the check they usually cut you. Well, they've been replacing quite a few roofs the last several years, so right. I think a lot of companies are going to be going to this actual cash value. I know some are. I got a letter in the mail for my insurance that they're going to actual cash value, and I'm sure they're all going to file suit after a little bit. I believe that's how roof insurance actually started, was actual cash value. And then somewhere 30, 40 years ago, somebody just decided to do with full replacement, and everybody else followed suit. So now they're going back to what they were doing. So an actual cash value, your roof actually depreciates. So if you want to replace your roof, they want to know when you replace it and how much you paid. So if you paid $20,000 to replace your roof, and it's a 30-year shingle, that's another thing that matters, is if you get 20, 30, 40-year shingles. There's different different types you can get, and each company has their own depreciation schedule. So this is just kind of a rough overview. They're not all going to depreciate the same, but just as a general rule of thumb, they're going to take what you paid for it divided by the years it's supposed to be good for, 30 years, and then every year that passes, if you file a claim 10 years later, you got 10 years worth of depreciation, they're going to pay you the remaining balance.
So basically, if it's a 30-year roof, I mean, just hypothetically speaking, if it's a 30-year roof and you replace it after 10 years, you're going to get 66% of the value of what you paid. So you're going to lose a third.
Yep, correct. And you're still going to have to pay for your deductible portion, and then that's the portion that you'll get. So, some people that are unfortunate enough to put a new roof on and then have to replace it that same year. I don't know if you know anybody like that.
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. That happened to us. My wife and I, we had a big storm come through, and we had to replace the roof, and then about 30 days later, another huge storm came through, and we had to replace it again. And so it does happen. I know it happened to my neighbor, too, when he built his home. He put the new roof on, and a few weeks later, this huge storm came through, destroyed his roof, and he had to have it replaced after about 2 weeks.
And it just seems like certain pockets have been hit more over the last few years. I mean, I know people that have replaced 3 roofs in 3 years. So when that happens, you get the full value, or, minus 1 or 2 years of depreciation. You'll basically get the full value. But I think what they're trying to cut out is people with 25, 28-year-old roofs that are needing replacement anyway.
Sure.
And people wait for a hailstorm, and then the insurance company is on the hook for paying for it all. So I think that's what they're trying to avoid, on top of, they've shelled out quite a bit of money the last few years just for roofs all over the area. Just hailstorms are just becoming more and more prevalent, it seems like. So.
Well, I suppose it makes sense, even though I hate to admit that, because, if you buy a car, that depreciates over time. I mean, your replacement value on a car goes less and less and less, and, I suppose this makes sense. So if you got a 30-year roof, don't get up on the roof with a ball-peen hammer and start beating the heck out of it, because you're probably not going to get a full value.
Yep, you are not.
Not that anybody would do that.
I would sure hope not.
No, of course not. But, it does kind of make sense if you think about it.
Yeah, it does. Like you said, everything depreciates. Your car depreciates, all the toys, boats, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, all that stuff depreciates. When, you're under your taxes, real estate depreciates.
Sure.
You take depreciation on that. So I guess it does just make sense. It doesn't make sense that they would pay for a full new roof that's 30 years old.
If you have any questions, probably the best thing to do is just call your own insurance company and find out what their policy is.
Yep, because they are all different. So this is just kind of a general kind of coverage thing, because I was curious myself getting the letters in the mail and how it all worked. So I wanted to just kind of share that with all the listeners out there. Now, steel roofs also depreciate, but steel roofs have a lot longer lifespan. I use 30 years because kind of the average for shingles. You can get better or you can get less. But steel roofs, I think, are 50, 60 years at least. So then they depreciate over that. So you got a lot longer depreciation.
I've seen a lot more steel roofs lately, too, I think. It seems like that's becoming a lot more popular.
Yeah, I mean, we put one on our house because, shingle roofs, they just have a limited lifespan. So it's, I'm glad we put it on. I don't notice the rains being louder or anything like that. I haven't noticed anything really different. So.
Now, you've got a property you want to talk about today in Independence. Man, this looks like a beautiful place.
Yeah, I just listed a very nice place on Indy Boulevard right by the school. So it's a newer, built in 2019, 3-bedroom, 3-bath ranch home. About 2,400 square feet roughly on 3/4 an acre roughly. It's a corner lot on Indy Boulevard there. Open floor plan. It's got some rustic touches. It's got a nice kitchen, breakfast bar, peninsula area there, with also a dining area that goes out to the deck. Just general open concept. You got a master bedroom, master bath, first floor laundry, and then a finished basement. There's a bathroom down there. It does have in-floor heat. So there's natural gas furnace for heat source, but the garage and basement have in-floor heat off a natural gas boiler, which I love in-floor heat. I have a wood boiler in our house, and I love the in-floor heat. It just keeps everything warmer, in my opinion.
I bet it probably does, and it looks like the basement is not completely finished here, so you could probably do just about anything you want with it.
It's mostly finished. There's just, you got to put the ceiling on yet, if you want to add that finishing touch. And if you want to dice it up and make bedrooms or whatever, you can as well.
Boy, that's a really nice home.
It is a huge 3-car attached garage with in-floor heat.
And a big
cement
place,
driveway.
too. Now, this is right up there in that development behind SS Peter and Paul, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, right off Indy Boulevard.
So you could walk to the
either school
You could walk to the school
and church on Sunday.
Not bad. And JoJo's.
Yep, that too. Right
Walk
down the
there.
street. Dollar stores right down the street.
Got everything.
You got everything right there.
Not bad. Now, is this an online auction or is this a straight out sale?
No, this is a conventional listing. So,
Okay.
Yep, just
So-
call for a showing or any questions you have on it.
And if you're curious, you can look at the listing on Hanson Real Estate Group. It's got a ton of pictures and a lot of great information. It'll give you everything that you need to know. If people want to contact you, Josh, what's the best way to do that?
A cell phone's the best way to get a hold of me. You can call or text 715-533-4114.
And, of course, go to the website, too, HansonRealEstateGroup.com. Check out their Facebook page as well. And some good information about roofs today. That was, I think a lot of people don't know that, so that's good information.
And they're slowly changing over. So, I just thought it'd be a good subject to touch on because I was wondering myself exactly how it was going to work.
Excellent information. Who's in next week? Do you know?
Jamie, I believe.
Jamie? All right. Well, we'll look for Jamie next week. Josh Baecker with Hanson Real Estate Group. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Mark.
Hanson Real Estate Group open house every Wednesday here on WHTL.